Dr. Peeps, joined by
Michael King.
And before we start, make sure you hit that like button and hit the bell for notifications so you can get notifications every time we put out a new video.
Guys, I'm starting this video out today, and it's something we're really excited about, something we've been looking forward to, and luckily we made it happen. To kind of give you guys what this video is about is, guys, we met this lady named Sherry Smith Brown, and she is with Southern Hollywood Film Tour. She's located in Georgia. It's a little bit south of Atlanta, and so we got to meet this lady. I got to do a little discussion with her, talk a little bit more about maybe doing a tour with her. If you've never done something like this, we highly recommend it. She was such a sweet and professional lady, and we wanted to do a good job with this video. So to kind of give you guys what we've done is we set up this tour with Sherry. And when I looked on her website, and we'll put some information on this on the screen so you guys can get an idea about her website and what she does. She has big connections with Hollywood.
She does. She's a very knowledgeable lady about Hollywood, about the area, about Georgia and their incentives to bring Hollywood companies to that area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
her knowledge blew me away, and I take myself as a pretty knowledgeable person on the Hollywood side, and she just blew me out of the water, and it wasn't even close.
Yeah, it's worth it, and if you've ever tried to, go to Georgia, maybe see some filming locations, you definitely need this lady with you, because I'm telling you, she can tell you stories about everything, and stuff about the inside, things about the movies, and the connections and things that she knows about, just little fun tidbits that you really get out of this tour. So when we went on this tour with her, we got to see great filming locations. We got to see movies like Fried Green Tomatoes, Sweet Home Alabama, Joyful Noise, Driving Miss Daisy, Spider-Man Homecoming, Captain America Civil War.
Oh yeah.
A lot of great things. And some really good locations that I really loved and I had mentioned to her was The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead, we got to see a lot of locations of The Walking Dead. We won't get too far in there. There's a lot of different things that she took us around to. You're only going to get to see some small clips of this. We actually went to, gosh, maybe 30 locations.
Yeah, it was a good 30 hours or so,
yeah.
Not longer. She took her time. She was very dedicated, very professional. I was blown away by the tour, but
oh, it was great. And so you're only going to get to see a few clips, and these are going to be clips from just kind of in and out, and you get to see what we got to see. Some of the locations we didn't add in there because, like I said, you need to go check out the tour. You need to meet this lady. You need to let her kind of give her tour and show you what's up. Let her show you the area and let you get to see some great things. If you're a movie person, this is going to be a fun one for you. So
or a Walking Dead fan.
Yeah, Walking Dead fan. If you're a huge Walking Dead fan, we got to see everything. She was so knowledgeable and just carried us around. We got to see the prison. We got to see Alexandria. We got to see little small locations that you've seen in The Walking Dead, especially if you follow the show, that you wouldn't think that it's filming in these areas. And there's back roads. She carries all these different places that are hidden that you can kind of get to check out. And be able to see these places you've seen on TV and movies. So without further ado, let's check it out.
They took all that out, but the shot took place right here on the corner, and let me get the picture for you. And pretty much where we are right now, you can see the corner of the building, and there's Lori, and there's Carl, and this is where Rick pulled up, right here in the driveway where we are right now. And the teachers, everybody that's in that were people who connected with the school at that time. So the kids, the teachers, they just kind of casted from that. And Spider-Man, you can see it from a distance. He's gone out, and of course, Spider-Man's a kid who likes to get in his costume, after he does his homework and go out and fight crime. And the whole thing behind it at the beginning is that you've got Iron Man, help me, Robert Downey Jr., who is always telling him, you know, you don't need to go out. You're too young. You need us with you, the Avengers, the rest of the superheroes with you, if you're going to do something like that. Well, Spider-Man doesn't listen, and he gets done with his homework and he goes out the window, and he gets tangled up with what becomes the nemesis in the rest of the movie for him, which is the Michael Keaton role. And he meets up with him. He gets in a fight, and you see, all of a sudden you see the scene shot right here where Spider-Man is going into the water. He's gotten tangled up in his own web. And then you see another figure come in after him, standing straight up, in after him. And then you see these docks. And that's how we can tell it's this, that's, you know, right away that it was shot here. The body of water. Here you can see the docks. They brought in a piece of playground equipment and set it right out there, and Spider-Man is sitting on the playground equipment, and this is the Iron Man, who of course it's all CGI'd. He's talking to Iron Man.
Wow.
And if you remember, this was used in the movie Joyful Noise. Did you see that by any chance?
I don't think
That's been on HBO. Look for that. It's a Dolly Parton, Queen Latifah, Chris Christopherson. It's about a hometown choir that decides to enter a national competition, and they used the amphitheater for the scenes where they were having the competition. So the amphitheater sits 2,500 people. They brought in about 1,500 extras from the area. They put out a casting call to people in the area. And it's another one of those locations where when you just see the shot, you're not sure where it's you know, you're not sure if it's the amphitheater because they rebuilt the stage, but then when they turned the camera around and you could see the concrete risers where people sit and you could see the whole amphitheater, then that's when we knew it was this amphitheater for sure. But they came out here and they rented this area for about a week. They put the base camp out here, and a base camp is what they call the camp that when they shoot a location, there's always some kind of base camp where they have the equipment, the trailers, everything that they need to shoot that shot wherever they're shooting it. And they use the parking lot here for the base camp. And so like all the stars had their trailers out here, makeup, props, you know, all the cables and the lighting equipment, everything was all out here. They used this for, like I said, for about a week. They rebuilt the stage. They shot the scenes, and then they put it all back the way. But anyway, like I said, 2 different movies. I had a tree come down, it looks like, since I was here before the rains came. One movie is Fried Green Tomatoes, and there's a scene, if you remember, Idgie Threadgood is the young girl, the 11-year-old girl. Her brother Buddy is getting married. Her sister's getting married, her brother Buddy she's really close with, and then Buddy gets killed by a train, and she's very upset. She runs away from home, and there is a quick scene where she is sitting out camping, and there's a waterfall behind her. And like I said earlier, my son was on the locations department for that movie, and he says that it was shot right on the other side of the lake, the stream, looking back at the waterfall. The shot of Joyful Noise. That's the stage of the Frederick Brown Jr. Amphitheater. They rebuilt this stage, and that's a scene of one of the competitions, and that's a picture of all these people out here probably live in Peachtree City, and this is the director and the cinematographer. But anyway. This is Jake's Glass Shop, as it looked in the movie. They came in, they redid the hardwood floors on the inside of the mill. They built the porch for the movie. They also built a little bridge going over the overflow area right there. And then underneath there, they built a facade right here to make it look like a restaurant. Got somebody coming around me. No, I guess they're going to park. But anyway, so they built this facade and made it look like it was an outdoor restaurant. They built the bridge and all of this. And here comes Reese. She's come over the bridge. Here's where we're sitting right now out here. Street, historic Main Street, which is no longer used, but it's marketed for movies. And there's been a number of movies shot here, and The Walking Dead has used it also. The Walking Dead, Thompson's Mercantile, this was the Case General Store in The Walking Dead. When Michonne and Andrea in season 3, after they'd had the battle in Woodbury and everybody scatters, and Andrea's hurt, Michonne and her come to a little place here in Harrelson, and they find a place to stay to get away from the zombies. And then Michonne went out looking for medicine for Andrea. This is the place where she came to, and this was they turned it into like a little general store. She walked in the front of it and went inside and found medicine for Andrea and fought some zombies along the way. It's also been used. It's also been used for a movie called The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks, to that brick building, and they ran the car into it and shot it up. And so that's all a facade. And then here's this street, and like I said, they're the ones that built the blue roof. There's the facade down there. Okay, so here's the other side of the street. This is blue. You can kind of see, I mean, things have changed a little bit since then. And then here they are building the facade. This is the facade. And then here it is. Here's where they're building the roof onto the feed store. And then they also used an old covered bridge, which is down the road about another 10 miles. And this is actually possibly by now the last covered bridge in Georgia where you can still drive over it. It's a one lane over it, but they use that. It's called Red Oak Creek, the old Red Oak Creek covered bridge, and it's about 10 miles. So they use that down to. But people I've talked to said that while they were shooting that movie down. Season 4, I believe, Carl finds a can of pudding. He's going through a cupboard, and he sits on the roof of the house and eats it. I don't know if you remember that scene or not. A lot of people do. And kind of has a little teenage moment sitting up there by himself, watching zombies and eating pudding. So anyway, that's the pudding house. They're having a big celebration because her sister is getting married, and it was painted white in that movie. They painted it blue about a year ago, maybe, because they've used it for the Conjuring 2. So if you like horror movies, I guess I don't watch the horror movies. So, but anyway, from what I understand, I don't know if 2 is out yet, but this is the Conjuring 2. They're going to use this. They use this house, and then it was used in a Hallmark Christmas movie, and there are a million of those. And I can't find it. It had something to do with Truman Capote's Christmas, but right there. Whoops! Didn't see that guy coming up. And there's they even used the inside of it, because there's the inside of it. It's all dark. Anyway, 3 movies this house has had. And here's the picture. And we're going to get a better shot of it when we go along to the other side. But that's the main entrance where there's a lot of shooting takes place. That's the in and out of it. That's the gates. My daughter says that those are the gates that get used all the time. Now that is where the old Gin property was. They still call this the Gin property. The Lombardis bought this up, tore down the old Gin, and built this neighborhood back here. And this was done 10 years ago, 12 years ago. Southern Living magazine built a home here, their Southern Living Home of the Year. And they built it with the Lombardis. And that home drew visitors to come see the Southern Living Home of the Year. Then the Lombardis, then they started building more houses. And Scott Tigler, who's their nephew, who I do know him personally, so I know the story of this. He started building some other houses. First he started building these brownstones here. And the idea of those brownstones was that he would build those, and they might be able to use those as a set for something that was going to, Savannah or Charleston or Alexandria. I mean, that's what their thought was. So they built the brownstones. And then they built the Southern Living Home back behind the brownstones, and they built a couple other Southern style houses. And then the Walking Dead came and said, can we use this as the town of Alexandria? So they went before the city council, and so where this lovely neighborhood was going up, now they were going to build a wall all the way around it. Well, delightful, doesn't it? You'll see things like that.
I wonder if that zombie would either take an arm or take a tip.
No, you could probably go and get your picture taken with it.
Well, hopefully y'all enjoyed those clips as much as we enjoyed the tour. That is only just a few out of a few places that we stopped. I can't begin to explain how much bigger and greater the tour is. And in those areas where we took the tour, there's probably 90,000 other places that movie or TV show or something had been shot just all around that area.
Yeah, I mean, and to kind of give you an idea, we were just maybe 30, 40 minutes south of Atlanta, and in a place called Sonoya, Georgia, and in other locations, kind of somewhat close to that, but we got to go to some really cool spots, and man, just some of those little places, like I said, just little back roads and things that they just filmed right there, and she was able to carry us around to those locations. We hope you guys really enjoy this video, and hope that maybe you'll reach out. And look, if you really want to, take this tour, just go on SouthernHollywoodFilmTour.com and get the information. You want to speak with Sherry Smith Brown, and we want to thank her very much for
big
doing
thank you.
this.
She also has a Facebook, and I think she does groups of pretty much all sizes on her tours.
She does, and I think there's a lot of different packages that she kind of offers on this.
And we won't give away too much, but very, very reasonable price for 30 hours, 30 plus hours that we
Yeah. I think she's got it listed for like 2 hours, but gosh, she took her time with us, and she knew that we love movies and things, so we highly recommend, hey, if you're just sitting at home on a weekend, you want to go do something fun with the family, or just a couple, just go do something fun, something unique that you never think you'd do. Take a trip down there and meet her, and I promise you'll definitely have a great time. But we, like I said, for Sherry, we'd like to thank you very much for allowing us to film with you and get to meet you. And I hope maybe it's kind of hard to do this because that she's in the film industry, and you think, man, you hope you can do this lady justice because she's in the film industry and you're just a YouTube channel. But we would like to thank her so much.
Big thank you. Big thank you.
Thank her so much. Yeah, and guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and make sure you hit that subscribe and the like button.
Yeah, peace out.